What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Ramon Chocolatito Gonzalez versus Julio Cesar Martinez, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the vacant WBC Super-Flyweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, March 5th from the Pechanga Arena in San Diego, California, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on DAZN, and to get both fighters' resumes, Ramon Chocolatito Gonzalez, fighting out of Nicaragua, holds a record of 50 wins, with 3 defeats and 41 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 2 by BoxRec in the Super Flyweight division, and he's also a 4-weight world champion. And not to list all 3 of his defeats, he has a majority decision and a knockout loss to Sirasket Visai. He also has a split decision defeat to Juan Francisco Estrada in his last fight, and it was highly controversial. And now to list some of his best victories. In his first fight against Juan Francisco Estrada, he got a unanimous decision win. He also has a knockout victory over Francisco Rodriguez Jr., a knockout victory over Brian Valoria, a knockout victory over Edgar Sosa, a unanimous decision victory over McWilliams Arroyo, a unanimous decision victory over Carlos Cuadras, and he also has a knockout victory over Khaled Yafai. And to get his opponent's resume, Julio Cesar Martinez, fighting out of Mexico, holds a record of 18 wins, 1 defeat, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked number 3 by BoxRec, but this is in the flyweight division. And Martinez is the current WBC flyweight world champion, and he is moving up in weight for this fight. However, I will get into how he missed weight, etc., when I break down the fight and how I see it really playing out. But to list Martinez's only defeat, it came by split decision in his pro debut. It was only a 4-rounder, but then he later avenged that defeat and won by majority decision. And amongst his other victories, he also has a knockout win over Leonardo Baez, a unanimous decision victory over Edgar Sosa, a knockout victory over Andrew Selby, a knockout win over Christopher Rosales, a unanimous decision victory over Jay Harris, and he also has a knockout win over Joel Cordova. And in my opinion, this fight is just going to be in favor of the more experienced, battle-tested 4-weight world champion, Roman Gonzalez. Gonzalez has just been around the game, been in the game for just so long. He's one of the staples of the super flyweight division, and the weight class has just become such a really good one in the past couple of years. I know the lighter weight classes don't really get much coverage because obviously they're lighter guys, but this weight class, in my opinion, is better than some of the glamour weight classes like welterweight, middleweight, whatever. I mean, this weight class is insanely good, has an insane top 10 with some tremendous competition. It's extremely competitive. Just last week, we just had an excellent upset in the weight class where German Cajas lost to Fernando Martinez. So Martinez is up there in the play. Still, and Cajas is up there. We got Chocolatito. We got Ioka. Even Jesse Rodriguez coming off that big win. Still, even Carlos Cuadras, Juan Francisco Estrada. I mean, this weight class is insane. Tremendous weight class. And this fight is really just a really good fight in the super flyweight division. So Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, he's won belts at minimum weight, light flyweight, super flyweight. Martinez, however, broke onto the scene, fought Charlie Edwards, got that no contest after hitting him when he was down, and yeah, then he later won the title, defended it numerous times, beat some very good fighters, and then Martinez, in this fight, he moved up in weight, and many people thought, oh, if a fighter moves up in weight, it's so easy for him to make weight, obviously, but somehow Martinez missed weight by over a pound. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, this was a 115-pound limit, and Martinez weighed in at about like 116.4 pounds. That is just insane. I mean, I would have never imagined anyone moving up in weight and missing by that much. Maybe missing, if you're going to miss weight, maybe it'd be an ounce or two, not a whole full pound and some ounces. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, that could play into if Martinez really prepared tough or really prepared hard for this fight. If he was really training that hard in the gym. I mean, so this could really impact his performance, whether he's really training hard for one of the best fighters in the world in Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Chocolatito, he is really known for being a very classy fighter. Not really much trash talk, just really shows in the ring what he could do, and he's just a tremendous fighter. One of my favorites personally. He loves to come forward, loves to throw big power punches, very hard hitter. Same with Martinez. Martinez has that Mexican style, loves to come forward. Not really that technical, loves to throw wide looping punches. Doesn't really have the best defense, and we even saw that against Mick Williams Arroyo. He leaves himself too open, and that was in his last fight. It ended in a no contest. Yeah, and that fight had fight of the year possibilities, but obviously Arroyo did really quit. I mean, he definitely did. Said that he couldn't continue after a cut or whatever. Maybe even the doctor stopped it. I actually forgot how the fight exactly ended, but it ended in no contest. Many people weren't happy with the outcome, myself included. But yeah, Arroyo, he dropped Martinez with a big hook because Martinez really just was leaving his hands down. Martinez got hit with a nice hook, got wobbled, went down from that hook, but then he actually went on to later drop Arroyo and then hurt him multiple times in the fight, and it really looked like he started to gain his rhythm and started to land his punches. But yeah, Chocolatito, the only time we saw him got knocked out was against Soaring Visai, and he was actually supposed to be in a really, really big fight here, but yeah, I mean, Martinez was the replacement, so I mean, this is still a very, very good fight, even though that Martinez did miss weight. Still, Gonzalez is in a tough fight nonetheless, and actually, when it comes to the title that is on the line here, the WBC Diamond belt, Martinez is not really eligible for it, considering that he did miss weight. But yeah, Gonzalez was actually supposed to rematch. As I mentioned before, he was supposed to have a rematch, but or he was supposed to have an original opponent, and that was Estrada. That would have been a really, really good fight. That would have been, or should I say, their trilogy. It would have been, and that would have been just an explosive, very, very good fight, and it would have really settled who is really the better of the two in this sort of rivalry they have going, where Martinez, or should I say, Chocolatito won the first fight, then he lost the second one controversially, and now the third one will really be the decider. But Martinez now is stepping up here, and as the replacement, still a very good fight. Still, I'm very excited for it. Both of these guys have very fan-friendly, entertaining styles. Chocolatito, one of my favorite in the game thus far. And comment down below your thoughts on this fight, who you think is going to win, if you think Martinez has a shot even though he's moving up in weight, and your thoughts on Martinez missing weight even though he's moving up a weight class. So how I see this fight going down round by round, I think that Chocolatito will start strong. He will actually, I could definitely see Chocolatito dropping Martinez early on like Arroyo did, sort of just giving him a chin check in the first couple of rounds, because as I mentioned before, Martinez does have that really wide open style. But if Martinez is going to want to win this fight, I think he has to win it in the first half. I don't see Martinez really scoring a lot of technical points, because or Chocolatito could fight and score points. I mean, he's that type of fighter. We could see him brawl, we could see him box a bit and score and counter. But yeah, I mean, Martinez, I definitely don't see him trying to be technical and scoring points. However, Chocolatito, we could see him utilize counter-punching. We could see him really just utilize really Martinez's stance to his disadvantage, or to his advantage, as opposed to Martinez utilizing his pressure fighting, etc. And yeah, if Martinez wants to win, he has to go out guns blazing and be smart. He can't just go out and continue just throwing punches like he did against Arroyo and got caught. He has to be smart and really place his shots, as opposed to just throwing them out there and really looking to land a lucky punch. Because, I mean, we've seen Chocolatito get knocked out in the first half of the fight by Soaring Visai. So, I mean, it's definitely possible, and in boxing, anything can happen. So, I mean, we could definitely see Chocolatito losing this fight, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just think that Chocolatito learned a lot from that fight against Soaring Visai, their rematch, and that he will here be a bit more technical, as opposed to what we saw against Estrada. He will be sort of more aware and have better defensive mind in this fight, because he does know that he is fighting a vicious pressure fighting style fighter in Martinez. And I do think that Chocolatito will be a bit more aware, as I mentioned before. And I do think that really the first half will be sort of explosive. And I think that Martinez will start to lose some gas and lose some rounds in this fight, as opposed to what we've seen in Martinez's recent fights. And I don't really think that his style is going to work too much here in the mid to later rounds. I only think it's going to possibly score some points after he land shots and Chocolatito in the first half of the fight. But I do not think he's going to have much success in the middle to later rounds if it goes that far. So after the first half, let's say the first 3 rounds, after the first 3, it could be 29-28 Chocolatito. We could see Martinez snag around just based off of his pressure fighting, because early on I really think he's going to be throwing a lot of punches. But yet again, as I mentioned before, I could definitely see really either man getting dropped, but more likely Martinez. But still, after 3, it could be 2-1 Chocolatito, something like that. And after 5 or 6, or after 6, it could be 58-56, 4 rounds to 2. But then once the second half of the fight starts, Chocolatito will really start to figure out Martinez, know where he could place his shots, know where he could hurt Martinez, he'll start to know where his openings are, and he'll really start to land his punches. And I really think that Martinez will start to be broken down here. He could possibly get dropped and even stopped in these middle rounds. But I do think that Martinez could survive a bit longer and definitely go to round 10, 9, 8, somewhere around there. But I do think that Chocolatito will stop Martinez, and it could be a knockout, a brutal knockout. It could be a standing stoppage, referee stoppage, whatever. Anyways, I think it will be a knockout victory for Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. So with that being said, I think that Chocolatito, his experience will be just too much for Martinez, plus his power, and plus really his sort of skill in the ring. So overall, I believe that Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez will defeat Julio Cesar Martinez by knockout from round 6 to rounds 10 to win the WBC Diamond Super-Flyweight World title. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.